sometimes it's hard to make friends. Sometimes it's not very hard to make friends, and sometimes it can be really easy. Sometimes and it may not be so easy, and it may not be. When it comes to basically this anime, I haven't seen for quite some time, but I figure I just want to hit it out with a bang and just finish it. So the studio partner, Good Lightning, and to include it with episode 10. And I kind of want to say, I kind of want to say here, basically, is that when I look at Noah Chan, basically in this anime, Noah Chan is basically is a girl that she wants a dream to basically have that she wants somebody to be a part of her life and stuff like that, and she wants somebody to basically to have friends and stuff like that. One thing I was like when I was when I was watching this episode, I was watching a different part like when she was staying up late and she was like watching some kind of little kids show or something like that. I don't know why she was like basically like watching like something like that before or anything like that. And I was just kind of like wondering like why is Noah Chan watching a kids show or something like that? Maybe that she felt kind of really kind of envious or maybe she felt kind of bad. Maybe there's something must have happened basically really back in the past. To be honest with you, they get a little just a little bit of a clarity of her past and I can't really remember what happened. I don't know if she left or basically her friends just kind of basically from back in her past kind of left her or anything, just kind of left her. Now there was no actual major clarity like why did her friends probably abandon her in the first place, and some people will think, well, there must have been some very good reasons why that must have happened, and nobody does not know. But we really do not know if there was any clarity about to Noah's chance basically about her past and why did that person definitely do happen and stuff like that. I understand that I know how it feels to be alone and how it feels to be isolated, that you don't have really much people that you can really basically that you can look up to and stuff. And I definitely do understand it, and I definitely do understand that is a situation that some people may not be able, maybe may not be able to comprehend and stuff like that, and stuff like that. And when I look at basically just the world, I look at basically from all different kinds of people around the world that and stuff like that. And I've seen many different topics of different stories and stuff like that, based of different people and stuff like that. Feeling isolated, feeling that they have no friends, feel like they don't have anybody to really for them to care for. Or they don't have a relationship. They don't have their first time or whatever it is, or not basically getting married or having imaginary friends that you can have that can be your friends and stuff like that. And I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think there's nothing really wrong with that. I mean, call me crazy or anything like that. I don't think there's nothing really wrong with it, but it's basically kind of like a thing that you have, and stuff like that. That's basically what you have and stuff like that. And sometimes there's people basically out there do have like imaginary friends because they want to have something that can associate with them. But they're not really necessarily that they really are crazy because they really basically really are not. It's just basically in a form in a sense of way that they feel lonely, that they feel isolated, that they feel like there's not really much space out there in the world that can offer them and stuff like that. All they can hope for is that have my first girlfriend, have my first friend, get married, have kids, have my first time, basically basically having sex or whatever it is, going to college, watch our kids grow up and until they go to college and then they get married and stuff like that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and stuff like that. And that's just the cycle of life and just stuff like that. I see animals. I see animals are basically are alone and stuff like that. I see the sadness of life, how cruel it is, and it really actually is. I heard a story about a kitten called named Ugly. It was a kitten named Ugly. It was a true story. It kind of really made me cry. It really actually did. It's about this little kitten that basically that was kind of all wobbly and just couldn't walk right. It was didn't look right. It was looking for a home, and it kind of really made me emotional It really actually is. But me talking about it, it kind of made me kind of emotional. It's kind of like the story about the ugly duckling. The ugly duckling is a situation. It's a situation where the ugly duckling, he didn't know where he belongs. He thought he belonged to basically being a duck, but even though he belonged to basically of swans, means that he's not really just basically just an ugly duckling. He's a swan. That means he was a part of that, and people that rejected him and stuff like that. If you think about the movie, as I said many times before, think about the movie Cool Runnings, which I watched it yesterday. If you think about that, where Junior says like, "How come nobody doesn't really doesn't like us?" Your brother says, we're different. People are always afraid of what's different, and that is true. And that's true, and stuff like that. If in my case and stuff like that, if I see a kitten that looks deformed or anything like that, I would gladly would have picked it up, and I would gladly would just basically just adopt it, take it in my home, and say like, hey, if I get kicked out because I have a cat without notifying the landlord, perfectly fine with me, because you know what, I rather put myself put myself there, and to take care of that little kitten, because it wants a friend. It wants somebody that who it loves. It really does. And when I look at people who are gay or trans or something like that, they want friends. That's what they want. They really definitely do, and stuff like that. But they feel isolated. They feel like they don't belong with the rest of the world and stuff like that. And they feel like they're being cursed and stuff like that, saying like we're just gonna move them out of the way. And when I look at Noah Chan, that's what I look at from her. She seems like she's kind of like a person that like she's kind of like she's cursed. She's kind of like a person who's cursed. Like she's kind of like shoved out of the way, and say like, this is what she is. That's who she really actually is. But when I look at basic at that like that, I still go by the slogan every time. Every time, don't judge a book by its character. And the reason why I definitely say that, it's something that I'm going to use that slogan for a long time until people get bored, and I'll still keep saying that. I still will, and I still will. And I want to use that until to the very day I die. I would probably a letter or something, like probably a will or something like that, or something like that. Says please put that on my cover stone. And I would love for somebody to basically really do that, because you know why? Because I want to live by that, and that's what I really want to do and stuff like that. I don't judge the world because the way I see it as fit for me, but I see the world as a difference. I see the world based as a difference. That's what I definitely do see. I understand that people may get pushed aside and say like, "Oh, you don't belong here" and stuff like that. You don't get to have any friends or anything like that. That's kind of like with Naruto. Naruto was made fun of. He was ridiculed and stuff like that, and he didn't really make any friends and stuff like that. He was just very sad and lonely, and just really actually is. When I talk about Naruto, it kind of refers me as me, and it really does. I feel that way also as well too, and I'm trying not to get so emotional. I'm trying not to cry a little bit, but I'm trying not to, because it does makes me kind of sad. It really does. It really does. But when I listen to the oracle of the music of the Naruto theme music, if you know what I'm talking about, it kind of relates to basically kind of like me and stuff like that. When I'm watching like different kind of animes, it does shows that good representation of basically like the aspects of a person in real life, of a friend who I know, of a person who I see, and a person who I've seen basically in an anime and basically in a movie and stuff like that. But I still go back what I said, and I still go back to say you can't judge a book by its character, judge a book by its cover, and because I don't really don't like that. That's something I don't want to do. I don't feel like I want to judge somebody because they're gay or trans or straight or whatever it is, or they're alien or whatever that maybe is and stuff like that. I want to support that. That's what I want to support. My family does support it. They say they think it's abomination. That's them, and I don't think it's not abomination. If I go to hell for that, perfectly fine by me, then that's fine. I rather be there than just be up there. That's just my opinion. But I don't hate God or anything like that. But I want people to understand. I understand basically from Noah Chan, basically from her, basically she never really has a chance to basically have any friends that really accept her, and she's just like I said first, she's kind of like the girl who was cursed, like she's pushed aside, and it's just like she's the girl, and just like nobody doesn't really want and stuff like that. For one, she's cute. For two, she's very beautiful. And three, she's just absolutely just gorgeous. She really actually is. I think that she's personally one of my favorites based on this anime. I think that she's a very good hint basically on the MC, which I definitely do think so. But I don't think Toa Chan is not really the perfect fit for the MC, because I don't think that she really actually is. I don't want people to think I hate Noah Chadwick because the Angel. That's something I definitely want to talk about basically with her. Basically, is that the one thing I want to say something basically about her is basically is that she's just an angel and stuff like that. She doesn't really understand normal humans' feelings and stuff like that. She may not really personally really understand. What that basically means is that she may not really understand what's the meaning of love, what's the meaning of being happy, what's the meaning basically of different things. Because you gotta remember she's just an angel. She's basically really how she is, but she's starting to experience these feelings and stuff like that. And sometimes when you start to experience these feelings, and you go like, "What is happening to me? Like, why am I feeling this way?" And stuff like that. And those are normal feelings. Those are normal. Those are very very normal for you, for me. I mean, think for all of us and stuff like that. And you kind of probably will ask yourself, "What about God? How he would feel? Will he get jealous? Will he get mad?" I mean, I can't. I really don't know. I'm not even like him. I mean, I don't know what he thinks or anything like that. I have no idea. I have no idea. That's kind of like saying like a tree. Would a tree would get mad, get jealous, or anything like that? No, a tree would just wave around in the wind in the trees. That's all. Or a basically just get rooted out by a tornado or hurricane or whatever it is, whatever it is, or basically get chopped down and stuff like that. But I definitely do think that this movie, excuse me, not this movie, this anime does has good tropes, and it does, and it's definitely something enjoyable, and I really definitely do. I know this anime is basically came from last year. I definitely do think it came from last year, because last year I was staying with my grandma because a certain mishap based on my relationship. I don't want to talk about it really too much, but I don't really want to get into that. But yeah, anyways, that's it for this video. Tell me what you guys think. You guys like this? You guys like this episode? You guys don't like it? What you guys all thoughts about Noah Chan? I definitely do think Noah Chan is kind of particularly in my own view that she is basically as a curse, based kind of a character, but she's really is not. But I think that she's more to it than that, and I think that she's a very beautiful flower. It's basically in the field that nobody has never really decided just to pick her up, because some people may think like she's not really the flower everyone wants and stuff like that. So yeah, but yeah, anyways, that's it for this interview. Tell me what you guys think. You guys like this episode? You guys think it's good? You guys think it's bad? What you guys thoughts about Noah Chan? What do you guys think about also what Toa also as well too? Also too the angel. Do you think that she's starting to develop feelings, or maybe that she's not really basically comprehensive with her feelings and stuff like that? And do you think that she's best girl? I don't think she's really best girl, but I prefer Noah Chan better, because I think that she's the best opportunity for the MC. But yeah, and this is I know like I said, I'll see you guys there. Take care. Hope you guys all today. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Please like one, give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down, and please leave a comment below. Anyways, I love you guys. Take care. Hope you guys have a day. I'll see you guys there. Take care. Bye.